All right, let's continue on here as we're looking at applying these properties that we've learned. Right, we've talked about the product rule, right, which allows us to create a sum of logarithms. The quotient rule allows us to create a difference of logarithms, and the power rule, which allows us to create a product. And in these examples, it says write each expression as a sum or a difference of logarithms. Express any powers as factors. Simplify completely. So let's go to example C. So here I've got log base 4 of x cubed times squared x minus 6 divided by x plus 2. Well, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and create a difference of logarithms. I'm going to go ahead and use the quotient rule. So the quotient rule, again, log of the numerator, right? There's our m, so to speak. If you look in our property, there's our denominator. So that'll be log base 4. And remember, this log base is a subscript of the numerator, which is x cubed squared x minus 6, minus log base 4 of the denominator, x plus 2. So there's our difference of logarithms. So again, that broke up into 2. Now let's take it even further. Let's go ahead and apply the product rule. So now I've got some factors, right, in this first log. So I'm going to apply the product rule on that. Let's go ahead and create a sum of logarithms. So here are my two factors. So that'll be equal to log base 4, the first factor, x cubed, plus log base 4 of the second factor, squared x minus 6. So again, that single log was broken up into 2. Again, the sum using the product rule, minus log base 4 of x plus 2. Now, there's no product there to break up. With that said, we've got our sum and difference of logs in our expression. So we started with one log. We've got 3 right now. One thing I do want to talk about as we deal with radicals and logarithms, let's go ahead and rewrite those using fractional or rational exponents. So as we go to our next step, let's go ahead and rewrite this second log. So again, this is equal to log base 4 of x cubed. Let's introduce the exponent. We know with the square root of x minus 6, that's x minus 6 to a power of 1/2, right? Square root's 1/2, cube root's 1/3, fourth root's 1/4. We know the index of our root's denominator of that power, and of course the power on your radicand is your numerator. With that said, I've introduced the exponents on all 3 of these logarithms, which we have powers of 3, right, and 1/2. Now we have a power of 1, of course, on x plus 2, but that's not going to change anything when we look at creating a product, which is where I want to go next. I want to apply the power rule. So the power rule allows us to get rid of these exponents and make sure we get all powers expressed as factors. So let's go ahead and do that. So that'll be 3 times log base 4 of x plus 1/2 times log base 4 of x minus 6 minus log base 4 of x plus 2. And there's no simplifying to do, no same base properties, nothing to reduce. There's our answer. Again, breaking that up, right, into a difference of logarithms, right, creating that sum and difference. Now let's take a look at this next example. All right, let's go to example D. Now I want you to notice we have a radical. So our first step on this example is to go ahead and introduce the power for that. So remember, we're dealing with radicals. Let's go ahead and rewrite it with a rational power, since we can, and then we can use the power rule to get rid of it and express it as a factor. So 5th root, of course, is 1/5. So we'll go ahead and use that. Now let's go ahead and apply the power rule. So as we use the power rule, right, what happens? Our power becomes the coefficient. So this will equal 1/5 times log base c of x squared z cubed divided by y to 5th c to 4th power. All right, so now we've got our radical taken care of. See, now we can go ahead and use the quotient rule. So let's go ahead and break this up. So I'm going to put a bracket around this. So we got a 1/5 times, and then we're going to apply the quotient rule. So go ahead and make note of that. And that means log of the numerator. So log base c, and let's keep this in brackets so we'll remember to distribute that 1/5 at the end, of the numerator, x squared z cubed, right, minus log base c of the denominator, which is y to the 5th, c to the 4th power. All right, so again, there's our difference of logarithms. That's using the quotient rule, log of numerator minus log of denominator, which equals 1/5. And let's go ahead and break up now. Let's use the product rule. So product rule is our next step. We've got some products, which we're taking log of, right? We've got some factors here. So let's go ahead and break that up. So in the product rule, that'd be log base c of the first factor, x squared, plus log base c of the second factor, which is z cubed, minus, and let's put in parentheses, log base c of the first factor, y to the 5th power, plus log base c of c to the 4th power. And we'll close out our bracket. With that said, right, we also notice in this problem, you want to recognize one of your properties came into play in that step, right? In this step, we just looked at our same base rule. So let's go ahead and look at this. So log base c of c to the 4th power, that equals 4, right? Remember, log base a of a to the x power always simplifies to x. So make sure you simplify whenever you can. Now, I don't have any same bases with the other ones, right? They're all different. But log base c, right, of c simplifies to 4. So with that said, let's go ahead and now look at applying the distributive property, simplify down a little bit. So we got 1/5, right, times log base c of x squared, right, plus log base c of z cubed, minus log base c of y to the 5th power, and don't forget to distribute, minus 4. So now as we looked at, we've simplified inside the brackets. And what power, or I shouldn't say what power, what property have we not used? Our power rule. So let's go ahead and do that. So we've got our 1/5 right out here in front, and let's apply the power rule. The powers become the coefficients. So let's bring them out in front. So that'll be 2 times log base c of x plus 3 times log base c of z minus 5 log base c of y minus the 4. Right, as we bring down the power. So the powers have become the coefficients, right, as we go ahead and simplify that down using the power rule. So our last step would be to distribute. So now we need to apply the distributive property, and we need to distribute 1/5 through. We need to multiply it with each term. So as we do that, what do we get? So that equals 1/5 times 2 is 2/5 log base c of x. 1/5 times 3 is 3/5 log base c of z. 1/5 of -5 is -1 log base c of y, and then minus 1/5 times 4, minus 4/5. So there it is, expanded out. So again, that was using almost every property we've mentioned. We've talked about, of course, power rule. We did it a couple times. We started out with the power rule to get rid of the radical, which I want to do. I want to introduce the exponent, and then I was able to bring it down, right, as a coefficient. And then I could break it up using our quotient rule, product rule, and then power rule again to get rid of the exponents, to make sure all exponents were factors. And I'd distribute, clear out my bracket. So multiply that 1/5 through. So again, that's looking at logarithms, again, expanding those out using our properties. And of course, we can go the other way. In our next set of examples, it says express as a single logarithm. So we've got 3 logs here. Let's look at example A. Well, we've got 3 times log base 5 of x plus 4 times log base 5 of y minus 1/2 log base 5 of W. Now we do see we have a sum and a difference. So we'll be able to use the product and the power rule eventually, because these are all log base 5 logarithms. But our first step would be to apply the power rule. So what we need to do before we can use the product rule and the quotient rule is we need to bring up these coefficients, these factors of 3, 4, and 1/2 back up into the exponent. So using the power rule, 3 times log base 5 of x is log base 5 of x to the 3 power, x cubed. And same thing here, was bring the 4 up, we got log base 5 of y to the 4th power, and then minus log base 5 of w to the 1/2 power. So with that said, we've now gotten rid of the coefficients. So let's go ahead and look at combining, adding, and subtracting. So let's take these first 2 logarithms and let's apply the product rule. What allows us to add logarithms? Right? We add by, again, multiplying what we're taking log of using the product rule. So log of m plus log of n is log of m times n. So log base 5 of x cubed times y to the 4th power. There's the product rule. So those two became 1. And we've still got minus log base 5 of w to the 1/2 power. And then how do we get rid of the difference? Our last rule would be our quotient rule. Log of m minus log of n is log of m divided by n. So that'll be log base 5 of x cubed, y to the 4th power in the numerator, divided by w to the 1/2 power. And there it is. There's our single logarithm. So in the end, we're down to 1 log. All right, let's do the same thing, example B. We got all 3 logarithms in this expression are log base e logarithms. So we can combine them, we can put them together. Now the first thing I'm drawn to is the parentheses. I always want to simplify in parentheses first, thinking about order of operations. So let's go ahead and apply the quotient rule here. So the quotient rule will allow us to take care of that difference of logarithms. So let's write that right beneath it. So we got the natural log of x squared plus 2 times the natural log of x divided by y squared. So there's the quotient rule applied, right? So those 2 became 1. And then let's go ahead and get rid of the 2. So we know this 2 can come up here as the exponent. So we're going to go ahead and use the power rule, right, in our next step. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll write it here beside it. So we got the natural log of x squared plus the natural log, that should be a ln, plus the natural log of x over y squared, all raised to a power of 2. So that 2 is brought up there into the exponent. And then what do we do to add logarithms? Well, to add logarithms, we're going to do the product rule. So let's take a look at the product rule. As we multiply, we're taking log of m plus log of n. That's equal to the log of m times n. So let's go ahead and multiply these together. And let's go ahead and take care of that product, natural log. Now, what is x squared? All right, times, let's go ahead and square this. So we'll go ahead and apply the power. Numerator becomes x squared. As we square the denominator, that's y to the 4th power. And that simplifies to natural log of x to the 4th power over y to the 4th power. So again, simplifying that down. So again, there's the single logarithm, right, given that expression of logarithms. Right, again, using our properties. We use the quotient, the product, and the power rule. Now, example C, so we look at our last one. Now, we've only got 2 logarithms. They're both base 3 logarithms, and they're asking us to subtract. So we know, again, how to combine a difference of logarithms. Let's go use the quotient rule. So that's equal to log base 3 of x squared minus 9 divided by x plus 3. Right, there's the quotient rule. Log of m minus log of n equal log of m over n. And then we could simplify that a little bit. Let's go ahead and factor. All right, x squared minus 9, let's factor that. That's a difference of squares. That's x squared minus 3 squared. It's x minus 3 times x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. As we do that, they cancel out. In the end, it simplifies nicely to log base 3 of x minus 3 in simplest form. So again, these are our properties. We're getting used to them, hopefully getting familiar with how to apply the product, quotient, and power, because eventually we're going to need that as we get to solving our equations. We're building up to equation solving, which is our goal in this section, is to solve some logarithmic equations. And these properties will be needed, and definitely want to be able to simplify our expressions and make it as easy as possible for working through them.